What do you want from me, cleric? To drive me off? Or maybe even have me killed? You don't scare me. Your people are a plague upon this land. Although, there is something different about you. Do you usually spend time with people like us?
I was an alb myself once.
Yes. You stopped taking Elex. That is rare. Which makes me question how you did it.
Hey, you. Hey, it's you.
Yes, Frank. It's me, Jax.
I heard they shot you down. That you were dead. Apparently that was wrong. But if you're here, does that mean you're a separatist now? Will you stay here and support our cause? I'm sure you would be very welcome.
What cause?
We've broken free from Zekor, from being slaves to Elex. And we've worked, persuaded people to allow us into the city. And now we're here, we are working to be allowed to stay. Would you be willing to help us?
I will give you my support.
Good. We have to stick together. People blame us for this war, even though we left Zekor to escape it. They will doubt us until the day peace begins. I mean, they don't even trust each other. Among all these warring people, all these different agendas, we, you and I, share a similar destiny. It's the only way anyone will survive.
What goods have you got?
It'll cost all of us.
It seems like you're tolerated here in the city.
That is exactly what we are. Tolerated. We are still a long way from being accepted.
You should leave here. I'm sure that the Albs would take you back if you gave them information about the dome.
No, I'm never going back. Nara can say what she wants, but there's no way back. This city offered me protection. I will never betray it. This city is a place of freedom, but all the old suspicions remain. The outlaws claim they are being oppressed. The clerics say they are neutral, but they aren't. The berserkers, they don't seem to know what they're doing, apart from avoiding their laws. We are trying to discover who we are. I think people see that we are all here for a new start.
Do you need help?
It is good that you offer to help us. The berserkers are already trying to get us thrown out of the city. We need the protection offered by this place. We won't survive without it. We've persuaded people here that we are worth a chance. But there will always be those who won't see it that way. And the Albs and Zekor want us dead. If we're to stay, we need someone to get to Caleb and York. They are key to our future.
About the threat of you being thrown out of the city. What is the problem with Caleb and York?
York is a berserker. He's accused us of spying for the Albs and Zekor. He claims he saw us handing over information about the shield generators. It's completely illogical. We are the ones with the most to lose if Zekor captures this city. But the free people are prisoners to emotion. It makes them doubt logic. They have already thrown one of our group out of the city. Now they are threatening the rest of us with the same fate. We are no friends of the Albs and Zekor. They would see us dead. We want this to be our home now. We need the free people to understand this.
I will help you.
Good. That is the response I wanted. It is best if you go straight to York. Caleb is already attempting further arguments to ensure our expulsion. But it is Jorg's statement that has put us in danger. That lie underpins Caleb's argument against us. If people believe we are working with the enemy, we will be exiled from the city and left to die. But if Jorg confesses his lie, then Caleb would no longer have the proof he claims. They would have no reason to expel us.
This area is a sanctuary for refugees. There's nothing here for reavers, recruiters, or troublemakers.
I'm not a reaver.
Then I hope that means you're here to help.
Are you always so edgy?
You know you wouldn't need to defuse things if you didn't get people wound up in the first place. Damn, this is like being back in Goliath all over again.
You're a berserker. Is Adan trying to conquer Abessa?
I don't answer to Adan. And these people belong to no faction. They belong only to themselves. I stand as their protector against anyone who would force them to do otherwise. My only connection to Adan is my magic. I wish it was more, but wishes don't make things so.
What brought you out here?
This is a place away from the war. A place people could make up their minds without being pressured to join one of the factions. If the people here wanted to join a faction, they would have. But some people aren't ready for that. Or they've been cast out. You have to go somewhere.
So there's no faction in charge here?
Well, the Clerics keep order, but it's not like the Horde where entry means you have to join them. Here you can forget about factions.
Have you been exiled from Goliath?
Exiled? No. There are those in Adan who want to use my magic for their own purposes. Ever since my power started to grow, they changed me. Their mana changed me, and that change just won't stop. I'm becoming stronger and stronger. It is terrifying.
If that's true, why don't you use your power?
I do, I have. But sometimes it overwhelms me. That's why I fight alone. If I lose control of a spell, there's a chance I could kill anyone and everyone around me. The warlords wanted to test me. Try my powers, to harness them. Now I need to find a solution myself. But to do that, I need to study the properties of Elex, to learn more about it.
I could use someone like you.
Use? There's a word I've heard too much. Well, count me out. I'm not interested in being used.
I could help you.
What do you know of what I need? What do you know of how to help me? Elex marks people. Mana, chems, exposure from food tainted by it. It stays with people. You have its mark on you. You're different somehow. What is it about you?
I took Elex in the past. Is that what you're seeing? Or is there something else?
Took it? You were fed it. You were an alb soldier. Well, it seems we have something in common. We've both been fed Elex in one form or another. It's changed us. And neither of us know what that means we are now.
What do you think? My offer still stands.
And what exactly is it that you're planning?
I am going to end this war by taking the fight to the Elexitors. And I'm trying to put together a group skilled enough to win that fight.
And you think I'll take part in this?
In return, I will help your quest to find the Elex you're searching for. Then you can improve your magical abilities. You said yourself, the longer you are here, the more you fear your powers will overwhelm you. The longer you stay here, the more danger you put these people in. If you really want to protect them, you need to leave.
Even if that's true, why should I leave with you?
I was an alb. I know Elex and I know magic. I know the impulses that follow you even during sleep. I know the nightmares and the problems of trying to control power that really wants to control you. And I know what it's like when all that is taken from you. We can help each other.
And it's not like I have other options. Not in the long term. You're right. I'm hiding from it here. I need to get out there and find a real solution. I'll wait by the main gate, and we'll see if your actions can match your words. You should stock up here before we go.
I will meet you by the gate.
Just don't keep me waiting, or you might find I change my mind. What kept you?
I'm here now.
So you are. And are you planning on telling me where you've set up camp or what comes next? Or do I have to wait for that too?
Okay, I'll tell you what's happened so far.
You've done a lot, but you still have got a lot of work ahead of you. Or we have.
And we're not going to get where we need to without a jetpack.
Don't worry, I know how to use one of those. I'll keep up with you. Now can we talk about my problem? There's just one more thing.
Yes.
Why did you choose to join the Clerics?
To begin with, it seemed like the best way to survive.
But that isn't everything.
My own people tried to kill me. I want to find answers, and joining a faction has to help me find them.
I hope you're not just doing this for your own personal reasons.
How are you?
I'm okay. I can see that you're struggling with your emotions. It must seem more natural to fall back on logic alone. I'll try to assist you in your struggle in any way I can. People will only follow you if you can understand the world from their perspective, if you truly support their interests.
Fresh meat?
What did you call us?
Don't worry, I am not looking at you. How did you get the guard to let you into the dome? Preferential treatment, I bet, seeing as you're a cleric. However you got in, you're going to find it even harder to get out. The clerics are a little jumpy at the moment. You might say paranoid. So, when they do let someone in, it does make me wonder who they are and why the clerics thought letting them in was a good idea.
If it's so hard to get in, what are you doing here?
I got in before things got so paranoid. And I came here for profit, of course. Lots of nervous people close to the Alps tend to be willing to invest shards in their safety, you see. And getting hold of supplies is hard out here. So, if you can get them, you can sell them for a high price. Well, that was the plan. Now, the clerics have stopped me trading and cut off all the supplies.
Where do you get your goods from?
Mostly directly from Tavar. And that's the main problem, seeing as the clerics have got picky about who comes in and goes out of here. It's impossible to get by the guards without an ID card, and they took mine from me as part of their crackdown. Now they say I'm causing trouble. But what else is a businesswoman supposed to do when she has her business taken from her?
About your trade ban.
Yeah, don't tell me. Trading weapons can pose a danger to the community. But this is about self-defense. The only person who can stop a person with a gun is a person with an even bigger gun. Am I right? I mean, what? Are we supposed to throw rocks at the Albs when they attack? But the clerics want to keep all the guns for themselves and screw the rest of us. They call it neutrality, but I say it's oppression.
Sounds like you could use some help.
Yes. Yes, I could. Still, let's say he's right. And that I could get a hold of supplies. Not from Tavar, obviously. They've blocked that route. Let's say I could get some weapons from the separatists, for example. Let's say they have weapons and need shards. And that they also have the business acumen of a stunned troll, so they need a salesperson. Me, for example. What if I was to say that? And what if I was to say that I have to find someone who could enter and leave the city freely? If I was to say that, then what would you say?
I'd say you're walking a dangerous line.
Spoken like a true cleric. Can't you see I'm a victim here? This city is supposed to be neutral, not an enclave of the Horde. So, where's the neutrality if only one side has guns? So if you blab, what have I lost? Nothing. And without any guns to show, it's just your word against mine, and even Alois isn't going to see that as justice.
I could help you get your weapons.
You? A cleric? Well, Need makes strange bedfellows, but you'll have to show me that I can trust you. How about you give me a down payment? A sort of security deposit, and I'll go with that. Don't worry. You'll get enough back as payment if you complete the deal to offset your deposit. How does that sound?
You can trust me.
Pay me, and I will.
You don't need a payment. You will just trust me.
Right. Trust you. Sure. Now that I think about it, you do look trustworthy. So, this is what you need to do. Leave the city and find a separatist called Radok. I think he's a separatist. But whatever he is, he's a mad fucker. I can't make sense of most of what he says. But he has the weapons, and he likes trade. I think he likes trade. It's hard to tell. He wants to sell the weapons, but you'll have to work on him, okay? He won't just hand them over.
Where can I find Radok?
Up in the Highlands. When we last spoke, he told me he was going to head over to the northeast. He mentioned an abandoned wind turbine. With luck, he'll still be out there.
Rations, and I'll tell you what I told the other 100 people. Someone must have been making a joke. I don't have anything to sell or give out, so you can just turn around and leave.
I'm not here about the food rations.
You're not? Ah, is that so? Well, then I'm sorry. I have been the butt of a joke that has left me rather angry, and I thought... Well, I'm sorry. It's just... I'm just so sick of it. The belligerence between the berserkers and outlaws. Everything was simpler when I was a cultivator in Goliath. We had laws and everyone obeyed them. Why can't people just all work together?
Fink sent me.
Did he? Well, I don't have anything to say to those albs. This whole thing between Caleb and Fink is starting to get on my nerves. I shouldn't have said anything, okay? But what's done is done, and that's that.
About the situation with the separatists.
Do you have any idea what I should do? I feel this is a mess.
Go to the Clerics and tell them you made a mistake.
I can't do that. Caleb will call me a traitor. And for all I know, Caleb is right. That alb could have been from Zakor. What if Fink actually is an alb spy?
I was an alb from Zakor.
You? You don't look like an alb.
Because I am free from Elex. You can trust me. Not all albs follow the orders of the Ice Palace.
I know. I've always found Fink quite straightforward, which is rare amongst the people here. Maybe I'm judging him because everyone else here is so untrustworthy. You're right. I've done Caleb's bidding without question far too long, and where's it got me? I'll go to the Clerics and speak up for Fink. You've helped me decide. Thank you. I will go to the Clerics and do the right thing. I don't want someone to be thrown out of the city because of me.
You may remain in the city.
You managed to get Jorg to admit his lie to the Clerics? That is good. It seems we can trust in the Clerics' justice after all. Your service should be rewarded. That is half of my daily ration. I hope it is enough to show thanks.
You saw me what?
I saw how you came through into the dome. Who are you? Why were you allowed in?
I'm a cleric.
I should have known clerics wouldn't follow their own rules. This city is supposed to be sealed. No one is supposed to be allowed in. But I suppose you clerics should be allowed some privileges as thanks for offering us all protection. I wouldn't want to have to deal with the outlaws. End up with a city here like the fort in Tavar? No thanks. Not to mention the damn separatists here. They may say they're not Albs anymore, but you can't trust them, whatever they are.
What do you have against the separatists?
They are coming here, to our city. The only city with a real chance of peace among the factions. If it was up to me, then we would make sure these Albs went somewhere else. They might say we have the same goal, the same enemy. but I don't believe a word of what they say. Who says they aren't spies sent here to deactivate the dome? They can't be trusted.
You want to have all the separatists thrown out of the city?
Yeah. And you know what? I have already started to make it happen. I'll recruit anyone who'll help get this done. We have an eyewitness who claims to...
What information do you think they've shared?
The Berserker Jorg saw Fenk meet with an alb in front of the city. Why would they meet if it wasn't to exchange information about the dome? Sadly, Jorg is the only one who's seen Fenk. And now he started saying he isn't sure he really saw Fenk meet an alb from Zekor. So I have to jog Jorg's memory, or make sure he stops denying what he said. There has to be a way to do that.
Who are you?
Caleb. I lead the Berserkers who've chosen to settle here in Abessa.
Does that mean you're exiles?
Well, none of us are allowed to return to Edan now. Or we just end up being sent to the valley. As to why they came here, well, the first settlers were sent to Abessa to plant a world heart to expand the forest of Edan out here. But they were cut off from Edan by the Alps, left on their own to survive. And after a while, they decided to keep it that way. The warlords in Goliath weren't happy. But they're stretched too thin for another conflict, so here we are. And since they settled here, others have joined us. Some are escaped exiles, others just chose to leave Edan. You. It was you, wasn't it? You made sure Jorg testified. It'll be your damned fault if we all die here. Why don't you just go fuck yourself? You've already fucked us.
Here in the city, right?
Yes, I've just arrived.
I thought so. I saw you come through the gate, you see? Anyway, I want to ask you something, if that's alright. Have you been to Edan recently? To the Berserker's city of Goliath, to be exact. A good friend of mine is still there.
Who's your friend?
His name is Kral. He's a guard at the Mana Shrine. At least, he was when I left. He thought he still had a chance to save his brother, Grimmar, from the Alb Converter. Do you know what happened to him?
Kral is dead.
No. Shit. Maybe if I'd stayed... You know, I was even planning how I could get to Goliath to see if I could get him out of there. I had this feeling something bad would happen to him. First his brother and then him. A curse on all of Edan. And thanks anyways.
Tell me about your life in Edan.
Me? I was a worker at the pit. You know, I extracted Elex from old machines so it could be transmuted into mana. I always wanted to join the Hooded Crows and learn the art of magic, but it wasn't to be. My parents forbade me from trying. My clan told me to stop trying. Not that any of that stopped me. And that's what got me banished. I stole mana from the shrine, and I got myself caught. They sentenced me to exile in the Valley of the Damned, but I escaped. I'd seen the Domed City when I was sent on patrol, so when I left Edan, this was the place I thought of. And here I am.
I would like to learn Berserker magic.
Well, it's pointless asking me. I didn't manage to learn anything useful before I was exiled. The Berserkers won't teach magic to outsiders, especially not a cleric. The Berserkers won't allow clerics into their ranks. They don't believe in technology or in religion.
Stone and metal. If only they spent such effort healing the planet instead of ripping her flesh from her bones.
I would like to reach the rank of legate.
You proved yourself worthy of this rank in the name of Kalan. Do you have the donation that Kalan requires?
Yes, I have it.
Kalan thanks you. From now on, you may call yourself legate. But even a legate has obligations to Kalan. With your newfound power of suggestion, you are to go out into the world and recruit new believers. You will identify potential candidates and bring them here to be initiated. Report to Hagen and Boulder. They will tell you how you are to serve Kalan. But you should visit our armor master first. Go to him and get yourself properly equipped. Your new rank brings many advantages, and you are free to make purchases from all the traders here now. Legate, you are dismissed.
So, you're the new legate around here. Very well. Promotion opens up the second-tier armor for you. Much better manufacturing standards on these things.
I want to trade.
Right you are.
Are you Stormson, the Berserker?
And? Who are you? Oh, I can see from that look. Angrim sent you, didn't he?
How did you get here from Adan?
Look around you. That should give you a clue. As we left Goliath, we ran into a group of clerics. The guards, the ones Angrim sent to kill me, decided to pick a fight. They lost. The clerics saw I was a prisoner and gave me a choice. Fight, leave and be free, or come and join me. A choice. An actual, real choice. Not like Angrim. And so I'm here. And so, how you found me. And so, what happens now?
Angrim wants you dead, but I'll let you live.
You travel half the world and you'll let me live? How can I trust you?
You'd prefer it if I just killed you?
Now you do sound like you've come from Angrim. No, I'll live. Now I finally got a chance to. But if you do go back to Goliath, tell Akira I'm doing alright. And if she can ever tear herself from her plants, she knows where to find me.
I'll make sure she gets your message.
Thanks. You know, I thought Angrim would send someone after me. But there's no way I thought that person would leave me alive. It seems not everyone in Goliath is an asshole. If you find Akira, tell her she should give you my old things. I'm not going back there, so you might as well have them. Take them as thanks.
I thought I knew all of the clerics in Abessa.
I haven't been here long.
The same with me. I haven't been with the clerics for long. I have been a member of almost all of the factions, except the Elves. And I hope I don't get captured and turned into one of those emotionless husks.
What do you mean you've tried all of the factions?
That's a long story. If you're really interested in my tale, then I will tell you, of course.
I'd be happy to hear her story. Maybe there are lessons in it for us.
Tell me your story. How did you end up joining the Clerics?
Right, I'll give you the full version. Well, the short version of the full version.
Just get on with it.
Okay, I'll try to keep it short. So, I grew up in Goliath in Adan. My father and mother were both born berserkers, and so that meant I was too. Back then, Bajar ruled over Goliath. As a child, I had no interest in the laws, of course. But when I was about 12 years old, one of the warlords came to our home. He took my parents, and I was left on my own to survive in the city. I remember him. I remember my parents leaving. And I remember me screaming. But everything else is gone. It's just a blur.
What happened to you after your parents disappeared?
It was hard. My parents' house was taken, so I had to run errands to earn a place to sleep. I helped out in the fields to earn food. When I was older, I also went out hunting. It was tough, but I was happy not to be in Goliath anymore. When I was old enough, I must have been around 19 years old then, finally I ran away from Goliath. Why was I punished for whatever my parents did? Why wasn't I told what had happened? I swore never to return, and I haven't set foot in Adan again.
Where did you go?
Wherever I needed to survive.
That meant running from reavers and wild animals. It didn't take long for some reavers to take me captive. And then... I don't want to talk about that. I was lucky, though. After several years, the reavers were attacked by some of the Duke's outlaws, and they took me back to Tavar. I learned how to fight, how to live off scrap. Life wasn't much different from Idan, but there wasn't the same raptor shit. The laws. You could be who you were, and no one judged you.
And now you're a cleric?
When I left the fort, I ran into a cleric patrol. They convinced me to go to the Hort with them. Not that I really needed that much convincing. All those hours taking scrap apart and putting it back together in Tavar really paid off there. The clerics recognized that I was good with technology. So, I've been working on mechs and AI systems since then. Building things. Trusted. Part of a team. And it's easier being with mechs. They don't judge anyone. They treat everyone the same. Like this place. I know it's not perfect. But outlaws, berserkers, clerics, even elves are seen as people. At least that's the vision. Not always the way it happens. That's another reason to maintain these mechs. To protect what we have here. Well, I hope you find your place in the world. It's good when you do.
What are you doing here in Abessa?
I take care of the mechs and drones here in the city, which means I coordinate and plan their maintenance and upgrades. When I'm lucky, I get to roll up my sleeves and do some of the actual maintenance. Which I'm having to do quite a lot, with all the technicians we're missing. Say, are you good with technology?
No.
Oh, well, that's a shame. I guess I'll have to keep asking round. On the other hand, if you're looking for some part-time work, I could still use your help. I have 4 people I've been told I should look at for taking the technician's job, but I don't have time to gauge their abilities. Would that be something you could do for me? I'd pay you for Daryl, Naira, Rorik, and Riley. Though I'm really not sure about Riley. There's something about him I don't trust. But speak to each of them, and let me know whether you think they might have the right skills and abilities for the job. Oh, and I'll need you to let me know about their loyalties. You know, can they work with clerics? Do they hate us? We'd be trusting them with the mechs and AI that defend the Dome City. So I don't want to employ anyone who might still be thinking about their faction, not our security.
About the candidates for technician.
Yes?
What do you know about Rorik?
Rorik is a berserker. I think I last saw him somewhere around Vito's pub. It might seem weird to consider a berserker, but I was one once. And I know Rorik used to work extracting Elex from machines in Goliath, so he knows about technology. And I think I could teach him everything else that he needs to know. And it would show that we were reaching out to the berserkers who have come to the Dome City. Their magic is very powerful, and they're strong warriors. We will need their help if the Albs attack us from Zakor. But it'll be important to find out if he's prepared to have anything to do with technology, before we think of offering him the job.
Tell me about Daryl.
Daryl is an outlaw. He's applied to be a technician, but I don't know why. So I want to know his motives and what his technical experience is. I'm hoping you can get that information. If he's skilled and trustworthy, then employing him might show that we do trust outlaws here. But I don't know that much about him.
Tell me about Naira.
Naira is an Alb separatist, so a bit of a long shot for loyalty. But she should have the technical ability we need. She's somewhere in the west of the city with the other separatists, in the slums.
You want to employ a separatist as a technician?
We need someone, and I don't think your faction always says who you are. Albs are usually very good with technology, but you're right. I don't know if we can trust her.
For it brings new encounters. So what are you? Merchant? Bounty hunter? Or a nobody, like most people out there?
I'm a servant of Kalan.
So, a servant of Kalan. What do? Wash his ass?
Your big mouth must get you into a lot of trouble.
That all depends on whether the person has a sense of humor or not. But as far as I see it, the way we are now, we should get along wonderfully with each other. I mean, otherwise, you wouldn't have even spoken to me, right?
Vivian sent me to talk to you about the technician's job.
Yeah, good. And I'd like to apply for the job. And I'm willing to pay any price to get it. While I'm certain there must be people better qualified than me, there isn't anybody who will pay you as much as I will.
What do you think about the Clerics?
What's this got to do with the job? This job is about technical reliability. And I can assure you that I am technically reliable. And as for my interests, you can count on me being a pacifist. I want to do anything to avoid a war. And the better access I have to new information, the better equipped I'll be to ensure a war doesn't suddenly break out without anybody seeing it coming.
I've heard enough.
Okay. And remember to put in a good word for me with Vivian. I'll make it worth your while.
Vivian sent me about the technician job.
I am without question the best candidate they will find. Therefore, selecting me is the logical choice. But I need proof that the Clerics are really willing to work with me. If I am to work for the Clerics, then I would like to be paid. The free people seem to value shards above all things, and so payment would be proof that they take me seriously.
You will get your payment.
Good. Then tell the Clerics I can begin work immediately.
Hey, you!
Let me guess. I'm not allowed into the upper quarter?
What? No, everyone's allowed to move about freely here. I just have a question for you. You got here recently, right? I just want to know what things are like outside the dome. What's going on out there? Are the Albs attacking?
There is war going on. You must have heard about it.
Heard, yes. But we're cut off from it. They can't get into the dome, so they pass us by like a river around a rock. Kalan gave us the knowledge, and now look what we've achieved. A safe harbor for all people. The Clerics and Ignodons say we've strayed. I say we've found the true path.
You built the dome?
I designed the plans for it. Then we built it together. My name is Eric, by the way. Chief engineer here in the dome. I'm in charge of all the generators and technicians who oversee them.
Why don't we have a dome like this in the Hort?
The dome requires immense amounts of energy, and the fluctuations in it have to be constantly balanced. The technology is complex. That means there's no way to cover the Hort with a shield like this. Besides, the cliffs around Hort give it a natural protection.
Can this dome survive an alba attack?
Of course. Why do you think we built it? As long as we can maintain a constant energy flow, then they can't get in. Unfortunately, achieving that isn't so easy. Some of the energy regulators are starting to malfunction again.
Malfunctioning energy regulators sound dangerous.
Of course they are. Outside of frying yourself if you try to adjust them. If we were attacked right now, the whole dome would go critical.
About the broken energy regulators. What will happen if they aren't repaired?
If just one regulator fails, it could mean an emergency shutdown for the dome. Otherwise, the discharge it would create could kill a whole lot of the people the shield is supposed to be protecting. But whether it's a discharge or an emergency shutdown, both scenarios would see us defenseless.
How many energy regulators are broken?
Well, all of them. I've sorted replacements where I can. But Lutz hasn't received his yet.
I will help you with the energy regulators.
I wanted to do it myself, but do you really think you could handle it? But I wouldn't have expected anything else from a cleric. I have the energy regulator here. Please, take it to Lutz and help him to install it. Come back to me when you're done.
Yo! What can I do for you?
I'm here to do the right thing.
You want to do the right thing? Wait. Aren't you the one who saw the separatist meeting with the Albs?
Yes. Yes, that was me.
And your reason for being here is... and why isn't Caleb here? There's a chain of command for a reason.
Caleb is not our leader. He just settles most things. But there's also... I'm here to admit that I lied for him.
You did what?
I lied. You see, I didn't see Fenk and the other separatists meet Albs from Zakor. I saw Fenk meet with another separatist. I don't want the separatists to be thrown out of the city because of me.
You have been brave to admit your lie. And you've done it before it had major consequences. But this deceit can't go unpunished. I will speak to you after I've spoken to Fenk. I'll send for you, Yorg, when I've thought about this further. Alt! You are accused of theft. You must pay the fines that go with your crimes, or live with the consequences.
I will pay my fine.
Thank you for paying me so quickly. I consider your fines as paid in full. Yes? Is there something urgent? I have a lot to do, as you can imagine. This city does not run itself. So, please excuse me if I'm short with you. This city is made up of a whole mass of confusion. Everyone looking for a new start. No one able to forget their past. They need a leader to hold things together.
You're in charge here?
Well, let's say that I'm the person holding all these threads together. There's no ruler here, we all work together. Everyone here wants something. Whatever you're searching for, it will only add to the list of demands we already face. And providing for the people we already have is a logistical challenge. That means to accommodate everyone we're on strict rations, and those rations have to be earned.
I wouldn't have expected the Clerics to care so much for others. You're doing good work here.
Some of our brothers turned away from our oath. They believe the Hort and Ignadon must come before anything else. But what is a cause without conviction?
How are things here in the Dome City?
Tense. The battles out there are always reflected in here. Tensions run high if the outlaws attack the Clerics, or the Clerics attack the Berserkers. And there's always the fear of an Alb invasion. Those tensions drive greed, anger, and fear. There is war out there, and here your shards will be stolen from your hand if you aren't careful. It's like the world has gone crazy.
Why have things become so bad?
Yes, a whole host of reasons. Maybe it would help you if I tell you how things are. The Berserkers have lived more and more reclusively ever since the Pilgrim went into his retreat. The outlaws are more organized now the Duke has taken power, and the Alb separatists seek shelter with us to escape the powers in Zakor. All told, very dark signs that we'd face another global catastrophe. And here we are, in the middle.
How long have you been in charge of the Dome City?
I've been in office for 8 years now, and it hasn't been easy. Maintaining a neutral position to the factions while fighting the Albs. By Kalan, there really are more pleasant posts they could have appointed me to.
What if someone wanted to replace you?
Some have tried, yet I am still here. This city was created by the Great Council of Magalan. They made the Clerics custodians of this place and their legacy. The Great Council may be long gone, but what they stood for, a unity of purpose, a future for all of Magalan together, that is something we still believe in here. So, it is our job to remain neutral. It is our job to serve all, no matter their background, however hard our residents make it for us.
Listen, the council is gone. Why care about what they said?
You don't think that was a better time? Laws for prisoner exchange that assured borders, set rules for trade. Even if you don't care about the blood spilled since the council's rule was broken, the clerics swore to a code, and that includes keeping our oaths. And an oath was sworn to the council by my forefathers. That makes it my duty to see that oath is kept.
Is there something I can help you with?
We all need help at times. You must have noticed that the mood is very heated here. One more issue, one wobble, and everything we've held together here will fall to pieces. One of my people has reported that the outlaws are expecting a weapons delivery. The last thing that this city needs is more weapons. And who knows who the outlaws will sell them to. I want you to intercept this delivery and bring it to me.
About the outlaws' weapons delivery. I know who's trying to smuggle weapons into the Dome City.
So, you met Paige. We've suspected her for some time now, but we've yet to catch her with any shipments of weapons. But, if my information is right, then she's found herself a new source and is trying to acquire some as we speak. If she tries to get you involved in this business, then do the only thing that is right and bring me what she wants.
You've been using informers to try and catch them?
Of course. Information is key to keeping the peace. But there are always things you miss. And missing things leads to nasty surprises. And I'd rather be the one dealing those out than receiving them. Particularly when it comes to outlaws. Are you going to show me that you are the exception?
Are you having a lot of trouble here in the city?
Keeping the factions together is always an issue. The outlaws are always up to something, but things have gotten worse, and to cap it all, we've had a sharp rise in thefts. I believe an organized group has started operating here. Not the usual outlaws. This group seems to be outside the factions. From the little I've heard, they're more like a secret society than your regular set of theft mongers. I've offered a large bounty for any information that leads to their capture, and capture would be best. I want to find out who their connections are. If you can find out more about this secret society, I can make you rich.
About the candidates for technician.
Yes?
Naira wants to be paid in advance if you want her to work for you.
Then forget her. I want someone dedicated to the job, not the shards.
You should give the separatist Naira the job.
Then you think she'll commit to us here? What convinced you about her?
She is the best technical candidate, but she's also an alb. I think she's worth trying, but you should keep an eye on her.
I don't know if I want to take that risk. Still, we are short of candidates, so I suppose we should try her and see. Thank you for helping me with the selection. Here, your payment as promised.
That's less than I paid Naira as an advance.
Well, I didn't ask you to pay her anything. I'm sorry. This is all I can afford. I'd better go and take care of my new recruit right away. This should secure us going forward. At least I hope so.
The technician job is yours.
I didn't expect anything else once you had paid me. And so I begin my work immediately. I still have to modify the AI systems, so it is inefficient for me to talk right now. Have a good day.
I'm going!
Well, there's not always an easy answer.
You have an important future ahead of you. I can see that.
We can talk later.
Hey, you. Give it to me, will you? Very soon now, you're going to need the right sort of friend, and giving that to me will earn you that.
I'm a cleric. I won't betray the Dome City.
You clerics all have stakes up your asses. You think your clan wouldn't understand me wanting to stay alive? You didn't even ask me what I'm planning. All I want to do is survive. Well, you might regret it when the time comes. You've lost the chance to make a friend.
Let's trade.
Okay.
Hey, traveler. Is your throat dry? Are your feet aching? Whatever your problem, I have what you need. One good swig will cure all worries, and that's guaranteed.
I heard about your fight with Brabak.
Ah, forget that guy. Every city has someone like him. You just have to ignore them. Let me know if I can do something for you.
Do you have any news to go with that drink?
News? I presume you're talking about news from in here. I don't hear anything much from the outside now the city gates are sealed. The future of the domed city is the only topic people are concerned about right now. That's pretty much all of the conversation. There's been peace in here for years, but right now, well, we're all set for things to boil over. I don't want to say it's the Clerics' fault. It's always easy to blame the people in charge, isn't it? But who else do we blame? The berserkers, the outlaws, the separatists? Me? I find it best not to blame anyone.
How is business?
Now that everyone is paying credit? Roaring. Not many people aren't happy to pay on credit. It's me that's holding the bill and hoping to get paid before I run out of supplies. Speaking of which, do you know where I can get any food supplies? I'll pay real shards to get more food supplies in.
Most people try to earn a profit in your situation, huh?
Try, yeah. Achieving is something different. I'd rather you get the supplies honestly, but if you take them from people who have too much, who am I to question it? But if you steal from those with nothing, then I don't want anything from you. I like to keep things honest.
Do you want to trade?
Just a moment, I have to concentrate. 43 degrees eastwards at a distance of 5 kilometers. Maybe I could adjust the receiver's sensitivity to... No. Although,
Should I come back later?
No. I've already lost my train of thought. I would have hoped a cleric would have had more consideration. But crap. I don't suppose you can remember what I said. How many degrees was it?
43 degrees eastwards.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. Thank you for reminding me.
I assume you are in charge of communications?
You aren't just a good listener, you're good at observation, too. Yes, I am responsible for communications. Though the condition of this equipment is wretched. It would be easier to stay in contact with 2 tin cans and a piece of string. I can't keep track of how often we have power outages or equipment failures these days. But I have really given you enough of my time now. I do have to work out a solution to this issue. If you feel the need to talk to someone, go and try Vito. Innkeepers are known for their chatter.
That was great.
Come to...
You once possessed great Elex abilities, didn't you? You're probably a soldier from Zakor, possibly even a commander, but you are now free from Elex, and from the orders that come from the heart of Zakor. Have you come here to die like the clerics that I just killed? Or are you here to trade?
What can you offer me?
The weapons of my enemies. Never used. Dropped once. Well cleaned. You won't find a drop of their blood on them. I have traveled alone since I left Zakor, and I wish to remain so. Still, if you have information to give me, that would be useful. Information and shards are what an alb needs to survive in the lands of the free people. Not that either of those things help these clerics keep their lives.
Tell me about the fight with the clerics.
They're fanatics. They attacked me without question. I was left with no choice but to kill them. Well, I killed two. There are two others nearby who are prolonging their lives by hiding. What does that mean to you? Are you bound to the ways of the clerics?
I make my own decisions.
Logic will always show the way. But I have business to conclude before we speak. It seems there are two followers of Kalan nearby who are anxious to see their god in person. And I must send them on their way. Quickly, decide. Will you stand with me in battle?
This is none of my business.
You disappoint me. For if you don't stand with me, that must mean you are my enemy.
Oh, God! Big! God! Oh! Oh! God! God!
Not bad.
He ran. That dog really believed he could get away from us. Separatist or alb, they're all impure. And he paid the price with blood. We're leaving this position as soon as the troop commander gives the signal. If you need something from him, you should speak to him now.
Now the alb is dead. Kalan's will has been carried out. Here, a symbol of his mercy. Now, it is time to take the fight to Zakor. May Kalan guide your path in safety until the albs are defeated.
Got a few shards for a veteran?
Give him the shards. He really needs them, and we could do with some information.
There, take this.
Thanks. Thank you. Oh, I won't forget this. And since you have helped me, I'll make sure my contacts hear about it. You help me, I'll help you. Come back in a few days, yeah? I'll have something that might interest you.
You did well.
About the Outlaw's weapons delivery. I have what you wanted.
I'm glad to hear it. I hope that the goods are all here.
Look for yourself.
Good. I wanted the whole shipment intact. Here, your reward. Ah yes, the weapons dealer. How is he doing? Is he still alive?
The dealer is dead.
Good. Kalan's judgment is ever present. You have my thanks, and I'm sure Kalan's as well.
Do you have my delivery?
I gave the weapons to Alois.
Why did I think I could trust a cleric? Faith over logic. You really don't understand profit.
Just get out of here. Go on. Just go.
It is not efficient for us to talk.
Keep your hands off my machines. I don't care if you are a fellow cleric, unless... How are you when it comes to engineering? Do you have any experience? I'm trying to work out whether to use a single-phase or triple-phase generator for the energy supply system.
You are asking the wrong guy.
Yeah, I thought it was a long shot. Still, I'll have to go figure this out myself. The energy regulators are screwed. The surge gauge is failing and I can't see why. And now the shield profiler is returning a really strange set of values. Altogether, that makes for one dangerous set of problems that could fry both of us if the wrong bit of kit gets jolted. And I'm the one who has to fix all this. Ah, shit, I can't even sort out the replacement parts until I have this stabilized.
Eric sent me.
Oh, thank Kalan. Do you have the energy regulator?
Yes. Here.
Perfect. That looks great. Thanks. Thanks for getting that. I'll install it immediately. You better get back to Eric. You can tell him I'm putting it in right now.
Lutz has the energy regulator.
Good. The dome should be more stable now. I thank Kalan for sending you.
Did you flee here from the desert?
Flee? No. But to live in Tavar, you need shards. And despite my talents, I wasn't one of the Duke's favorites, and that made making a profit hard.
You think it's better here?
Yes, for sure. For me, at least. And those berserkers are the worst for it. One of those assholes killed my friend for fun. Now that bastard is focused on me and nobody's helping me. Even though they know it'll be their turn next, and keeping their head down won't save them.
This berserker, is it Brabak?
Yes. That is exactly the asshole I'm talking about. He murdered.
About Brabak. I fought him. I beat him.
Oh, good for you. He keeps coming back for me. If he doesn't kill me, I'll starve to death, as I can't do any business. Please, can you help me? Someone has to.
Get out of here.
From now on, keep your hands off the outlaws.
And if I don't?
Then you'd better find a bodyguard before I come back for you.
All right, fuck it. You get your wish.
Smart decision. You needn't worry about Brabak. He'll leave you alone.
Leave me alone? He won't do that while he still draws breath. Oh, please tell me you didn't appeal to his conscience. He hasn't got one.
Don't worry. I made things clear to him. He won't be back.
Well, okay. Thank you. Thank you. That's what I wanted to hear. Wow. I might actually live through this year now. Thank you. Thank you. Here, this is for you.